Well, one thing I learned, oh, by the way, the rifle is unloaded, no mag, no bolt. No bolt. Okay, it's totally safe. So one issue with mounting the scope, of course, there's three factors, right, to make the rifle comfortable. And this is my new Ruger American Hunter with a Magpul stock. A beautiful rifle with a muzzle brake. I love it. And I added some extra pads in here. But there's three factors, right, when you install a scope. And I try to find this info online, and basically there's some just generic recommendations, but the most important, like this rifle came with a Picatinny rail already installed, right? So, and I only have very limited options as to where to mount the scope. So you see here, like this ring is already touching pretty much this part, so I cannot go any further forward, but I could go backwards, but then this thing will hit this ring. So I probably have like less than an inch play. And because I'm left eye dominant, I went with tall rings or high rings. This is a 30 millimeter. And what I discovered is that I don't feel comfortable. I cannot see anything with the left eye, because on a shotgun, I have a Mossberg 590M, so I have a red dot. But on the shotgun, this is much lower, and the red dot is much higher. So I can just use my right shoulder, and I'm tilting my head like this, and I can actually see. I can see with the left eye, and it's perfect. I already did. I shot that shotgun twice at the range. Everything is fine. So right shoulder, left eye on a shotgun with a red dot works fine, and that's the reason why I went with high rings, even though on the YouTube and all advice I heard is that you should mount your scope as low as possible. And as you can see, I have a lot of space in here, so ideally this should be lower, right? But the reason I went high like this, because again, I thought I would be able to shoot with my left eye, and so what happened now is that I found that there's two choices. Either I shoot with my right eye, or I flip the rifle to my left and I shoot with the left hand, and then I can use my left eye. Okay. And so one consideration is the how tall your rings are, right? And then second consideration, like to make the rifle your own, is where do you position the scope. And then third consideration is how tall is your cheek rise. And one cool advice I found on YouTube was they were saying just basically close your eyes and don't look through the scope, but just position the rifle and your cheek so that it's comfortable, right? And then try to see through the scope. And when I do it like this is my most comfortable position, And at first it was awkward because I had too many pads in here, so my cheek was actually here, on the rear. And so now I removed removed one, and so now my see, my cheek is on this rise, so it's perfect. My see, when you check like this, my length of pull is perfect, and I can put the finger on the trigger, and it's a pretty much 90-degree angle. Before, with the extra one, it was too long, so this is perfect for me, But what's not perfect is when I close my eyes and I find the best position, I cannot see I cannot see anything in the scope. Basically, I have to lift my head like this. You know, actually, I cannot see anything now. Oh, it's because of the magnification. I was wondering why everything is so dark. But yeah, this way it works. But again, for me, you'll be better like this, lower, right? Whereas to see something, I have to move my head a little bit. So I'm pretty much not touching, you know. And so the solution is, at least in my case, it's either order new mounting rings and bring the scope lower, or increase this Magpul cheek rise, because all you have to do is just unscrew this screw over here, and then this slides over and this becomes loose, and you can order a bigger, I think it's like 1/2 inch and 0.75 inches, like a bigger part like this one, right? Because I want to raise my head. So either this has to be higher or this has to be lower. But these rings, these are Vortex Pro rings. They were $99 for a pair, Canadian, $99. So to buy new ones, now I think they even went in price. Now it's like $117 Canadian. And I can go, so now this is high, I can go medium or I can go low. But it's all kind of like, you know, an experiment, because this is my first rifle and the first scope and the first installation, and so I have no idea will it, if I get, let's say, medium rings, will I have enough clearance here, right? If I get low rings, will I have enough clearance here? So I don't know. And plus the rings are $117, right? So I try to find the riser for this Magpul riser, and they're available in the States, but all of their websites, they say that they do not ship to Canada, even though it's part of the stock, but no international shipping. And then eventually, oh, and this comes in a few colors. This comes in black, olive green, and the gray, and some other like military color. And so I, of course, since my stock is gray, I wanted to have gray riser, right? So I found green, like dark green, military style, like olive drab green, and I thought, okay, maybe I should use that one. But then the rifle would look like really ridiculous. Everything is gray, this part is black, the scope is black, and then the riser would be green. And so I kept looking, and eventually I found a company that has a set of two cheek risers. They call them high rise cheek set for the Magpul. And like I said, they're like 0.5 inch, and the other one is 0.75 inch. So hopefully they will add height in here, and then I'll be more comfortable. But yeah, so those are the three things that, you know, you need to take into account when mounting a scope. So your stock, where to position the scope, you know, forward or backwards, and how tall the ring should be. And what I saw on YouTube, that a lot of people, when they show a rifle like this, they always try to bring this piece as close here as possible. But I tried that. I tried to move it like 1 inch backwards to my eye, and it did not work for me. It didn't give me enough what they call eye relief. So I found that I actually see much better when the scope is as far away from me as possible. So it's all individual, right? But I really look forward to shooting this rifle at the range. I'm gonna go this week, and so the scope is not zeroed in yet, so I hope it's not too bad. And I didn't use any level. Of course, that's another thing, important thing. You have to make sure that this is really straight, right? But I checked on my blinds, like the blinds, you know, they're horizontal, right? And I was checking the crosshairs in the scope, you know, when holding the rifle, and they seem to be okay. So very nice rifle. So it was $1,000 Canadian, and the scope was 500. I don't remember if they, oh, I think, yeah, I think they charged me for shipping. So I got it online in Canada, and it came in by UPS courier with signature required. So this is my new favorite toy, and my other one is Mossberg 590M. Love that one as well. So now these are my two fav firearm brands, Mossberg and Ruger. Thanks for watching.